All right, so next let's talk about story mode. Story mode is much like a video editor within Motion Builder, and it allows you to mix clips, edit clips together, blend between clips, and do all those kind of normal video editing techniques. Plus, it has some other powerful ways to embed the camera and do camera-based animation as well. So it's kind of like a film studio built in where you can tell your story. It's as simple as that. Okay, so let's take a look at how you get to story mode, and that's right over here in your navigator window, and you can click on story. Now, sometimes it's easier to work in different views, especially with story mode, okay? Like you want to slide it over to the right and the left, but you're going to be going back and forth between your assets and story mode. But to start, you've got to insert what you want on there. So in this case, I want a character animation track, okay? And then it's going to ask me, what character do I want? Yeah, we want Ronnie. Okay, now we've got that all set up. All right. So once again, we're just going to be dealing with one track. So I'll bring that kind of back down so I can see the character as best as I can. I'm going to just go ahead and grab maybe a jump on spot as a clip. And you see he instantly starts following the clip. And then I'm going to throw in the jump spin 180. And then I'm going to butt them up against each other. You can turn story mode on or off on the timeline. So we have it on. As you see, it's down here, it's on up here. So that means the timeline will reflect what I'm doing here in story mode. So it starts at 37 because that's where I dragged my clip to. And now, as you can see, he's going to jump in place, and then he's going to snap over there, and then jump around. That's because the motion capture was shot in two different positions, okay? So he's jumping between the two. To fix that, it's real easy. I'm just going to go and select the character, and I'm going to say match on the right foot and say okay. And then I'm going to just simply drag it a little over the previous range. Let me go ahead and line that up a little bit better here for you so you can see. And so you got your zoom tool. And once again, it's very similar to a video editor. And so now I have a nice blend, but it's going to base this clip off of the right foot from this clip. So they're going to be instantly lined up. Once again, my frame range is set by clicking frame start and end, and now my timeline matches, and then we can see it all happens from one spot. So it's a great way to combine all of the different elements of your library, right? So you can translate one clip into another very quickly and very easily. So let's continue on with how you edit here in story mode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll up to some of the boxing moves, okay? So we're going to say across. I'm going to get that close on frame 0. And then I'm going to do a cross hook. And I'm just going to drag it and butt it up next to it for right now. And I'm going to do a jab. And then I'm going to do a roundhouse. Okay, so I've got these 4 clips out there. And once again, I'll squeeze them in a little bit so we can see them all here within frame. So I want to select all the clips first and then frame start and end, right click, frame start and end. And then what I want to do is I want to just take a look at what happens. So here he is doing his cross, all right? And then here he is doing his cross hook. And then here he is jumping back, and then he does his jab, and then he's going to do a roundhouse. Bam. Okay. So you see he's all over the place in position, and I notice a lot of problems with the arms. So let's go ahead and get these all lined up onto each other. So I'm taking a look at where his foot position is, and it looks like that left foot is always the forward one. So I'm going to go in order. I'm going to start with this clip, so that becomes his basic position, okay? And then I'm going to go with the second clip, and I'm going to match based off of the left foot at the previous clip, at the start of this clip, and using both translation and rotation, okay? Then I'm going to grab this one, and I'm going to do the same. Select the clip, select match, select left foot, make sure all the settings are the same, and then I'm also going to do the same here. Once again, left foot, and it's all the way down. All right, so now they'll all happen based off of that left foot. So it's all happening in one spot now, which is great. So what I want to do is just quickly do a simple little blend, and I try to keep these kind of ones short. And then I select the next clip by shift select, and then I'm going to drag them both about that same amount of distance. I'm going to shift select this and move it just a little, whoops, move it the same, whoops, squirrely. All right, there we go. Now, once I have all the clips selected, once again, I'll frame start and end, and then I'll rewind and play. And then at this point, we can start taking a look at how the character is looking, doing his entire little story routine where he's boxing somebody. All right, and I can see already that I don't like how far his hands are coming up, okay? So now let's commit these to the timeline. All right, so to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select plot whole scene to the current take. And then that's going to put everything that I've just done here up onto the timeline. And now if we turn story mode off, you'll see it's still doing the exact same move. What I really want to do is show off the power of being able to add now an animation layer and then run down to the very beginning, take those hands and set a key, and then let's bring them away from the body right off the bat, okay? And then let's do the same thing for the fingers. Let's go ahead and get them into some sort of a fist. So I'll grab those first four and make sure I'm in local rotation. And then I'm going to bring them rotated in to an extreme position. And let's get that thumb tucking around as well. And then they need a little bit of love when you're going to rotate them, okay? They need to kind of come down that way because they're different than fingers, aren't they? Okay. And so we get that all set up, and then we go and grab all the things we edited. We go to our pose controls, and we click a quick pose, rename that hand quick fist, okay? I will tweak the fist, okay, when we get into our final animation, because it's really got to work a lot better than what we have there. But we just want something quick for right now. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch over to the other hand, make sure I have the components selected, turn on mirror, and boom. Now I've got both of them set up on frame 0 because my auto keyframe advance was going on. I'm ignoring story mode for right now. And now he's got his fists together. So it's really easy to be able to put all those kind of moves together and edit the overall fist and arm position within minutes. You can take 4 separate sequences and then augment them, add what you want to do with the hand poses, and then get right into finessing the animation. That's the power of hybrid animation. So let me give you another example. All right, so let's take a look at a little more complex example of story mode in action, okay? And this will really show you the power of hybrid animation. So what I've done is I've taken this character, which is one of the Rallicor Raiders from the competing team in Gigadisc. So basically he is Chublek, and he's Ronnie's, he's the captain of the Rallicor Raiders, so he's Ronnie's equivalent on the other team. Now, if we take a look down here at the story mode, you can see that it's much more complex. We have quite a few more clips. We have a whole bunch of different blends that are going on, and I've also trimmed clips like you would in video editing if you wanted to start sooner or later. I've, of course, used the match functionality to go between each one. I've done blends, but I varied the blends based off of the playback and the timing. And then I've actually retimed a couple of the clips, which is much like with video editing, very easy to do here in story mode. So once again, I'm going to select everything. I'm going to frame the start and end, and then I'm going to plot the whole scene to the timeline. Once that's done, it matches what we had down there, and I'm going to turn off story mode. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn that back onto a control rig by simply plotting character, and now it's back to a control rig. So I have all the animation that I did and editing that I did in story mode now available for me to use in the timeline with animation layers, okay? So we're going to go ahead and select all of those and set a key here on the animation layer. So let's just go ahead and play it. So as you can see down here, kind of follows along with story mode. So he's in his attack position, and then he's going to do his chest power, and then he's going to do a door slam, and then he's going to push something over, walks up to it, pushes it over, and then he's going to walk around it, and he's going to pick it up, and he's going to start grabbing on it. And then he's going to jump, and he's going to come over here and pick this object up and slam, slam, slam. And then he's going to, satisfied with himself, he's going to move on. All right. It's a pretty fun little scene, and it was really easy to put together with just a series of animation clips. One of the real powers, once again, is to be able to go back and edit that animation non-destructively. So in this leap, let's have him leap higher. So I'm going to take right about here where he goes off and set a key on his control node. And then when he lands, I'm going to set a key again. And then I'm just going to go to the apex, and then I'm going to raise him up so he gets much more height. Now, if we take a look at that animation, he just does that as though it was meant to be. So let's come back just a little bit here in the timeline and then have it play again. So you can see it's really easy to edit motion capture and then augment motion capture using simple techniques and very quickly and interactively produce animation that is much more exciting and much more powerful than you could if it was just that straight motion capture. All right, well, that pretty much wraps it up for the overview of the essentials for hybrid animation. Like I said, in the next module, we're going to animate the Gigadisc scenes that we've been creating up to this point in the course. All right, I'll see you there.